As an entrepreneur in the service industry, I have survived a lot. The past 3.5 decades, I've seen a lot. We've been through a lot. The country has been through a lot. But something about COVID-19. I thought I checked all the boxes. I thought I knew how to navigate through a recession, when we're at war, when the economy crashes, when the stock market crashes and people pull back. But this is different. This is definitely different. There's a certain etiquette that you have to abide by, and it's for your safety. It's for the safety of everybody that you're working with, as well as the client you are working for. So we're doing a job in Chesterfield, Michigan, and I wanted to take you guys with us. We have to all be in separate vehicles. I don't know how long this is going to go on, so I bought 3 more trucks, and they're all used. So the whole used new to us, and we're all in separate vehicles so that we can be safe, go home to our families, and not have to worry. We got gloves on. We're wearing face masks. I guess that is in fashion for 2020. And honestly, I see that for the next couple of months anyways, the way everything is going. So we stay pretty spaced out, and I wear gloves. I mean, everybody's supposed to wear gloves. I know a lot of people hate wearing gloves. They really have trouble doing the kind of work we do when they have gloves. I prefer gloves anyway, so that's not a problem. But just like that machine, you're going to see Francisco on that machine. You're going to see me on that machine. And wearing gloves, we're not all touching barehanded the same controls. So here we are. We're building a road in, but no customer contact. 0 customer contact. Nobody was home. They paid by credit card. Everything was done for everybody's safety. There was 2 sump pumps underneath this home in a crawl space, and we had to come in and get this water the heck out from underneath this house, because mold, mildew, those things, they spawn disease as well. I mean, the temperatures are going to get warm here soon in Michigan, and we can't have stagnant water laying around. They talk about how a bottle cap holding water in a backyard is a petri dish for a small child. So we can't have the underneath of this house holding water, the crawl space full of water. The lake levels are going up. So this is something that has to be addressed. We're going to put in a lift station. This lift station is going to take all the downspout water and all the sump pump discharge water from underneath the house, and then it's going to lift it up over the seawall. The water keeps getting higher here in Michigan. Every year we break the records again. We don't know when this high water cycle is going to break and we start going the other way. But until then, our services are an essential. We have to be there for these people. I want to thank Chesterfield Township for the understanding and what I would consider just good common sense. The way we're working on this job site and the precautions we're taking, we're thinking about the safety of everybody in that neighborhood, the safety of our family. That's what we're focusing on. We automatically are putting the system together. We can do it with both hands tied behind our ears. Having said that, our minds are racing with so many different things because this is culture shock for us. We've never had to do this. Now, again, I thought I checked all the boxes in my career. I thought I was kind of cruising to retirement. So here I am trying to navigate through unfamiliar waters once again as an entrepreneur and somebody who provides a service that is an essential. So that was my electrician, Tom. So he's on site. He's got his face mask on because that's governor orders, and we want to do that for our own safety. Mr. Tom is 63. I love him to death. We've been working together since 2004. He's my electrician. He's semi-retired. He pretty much retired, but he still does all my work. We get along really well. Hey, this is for Leonard Holt. How do you like those flush-mounted boxes when the garage is all drywalled, ceiling and wall? A lot of fun getting into them, huh? Okay, so we walked around the house, and we're going to end up pulling power from a plug on the back patio. There was an old tree stump, which is nothing new. You know, when you quote these jobs, you don't see that stuff, but it's usually there. And this job being on this canal on Lake St. Clair, there were 3 seawalls. The one you see right now, there's an old steel one beyond that, and then there was an old wooden one. So, of course, you know, we end up running into all of that. And we're used to that. We know how to deal with the tiebacks. We know how to work around this stuff. And you have to really be careful. This is not DIY friendly, and we know that. You know, I took you out on this one more or less just kind of to break the ice with the whole COVID-19 thing that's going on, because I kind of felt like to continue on as a YouTube creator and with all my subscribers asking, you know, in the comments sections, what are you guys doing, you know, in a time like this? We're working. So I didn't really want to expose the channel. I want it to more be a light-hearted place for people to go. And we have too much pandemic. We need more lighthearted. But we're just going to do one where you see us in the face mask here and the gloves, talk a little bit about it. And, you know, I don't know what the future holds, but I do know this. As an entrepreneur and as somebody who's in an essential part of the industry, a service industry, I mean, you have to deal with these things because, again, what do you do when your house floods? All the hotels and motels are closed, and you're not supposed to pack all in a house with family. So you're all supposed to stay isolated, and you're trying to keep the seniors away from the little kids, and the whole thing's, you know, it's quite a mess. But you know what? We're going to be professional through the entire thing, and I'm not going to miss a beat. That's how I'm wired. That's what I know. I know I'm going to pound that next job in as well as I did the job before that, regardless if I'm wearing a face mask and gloves. All right, so we're going to knock off and take lunch. The crew is. But as for me, I'm going to go run appointments, and I'm going to take you guys with me. I'm going to let you listen in on a sump pump discharge line failure in Clinton Township, Michigan. In case you were wondering what location we were working, that's Selfridge Air Base to the left, and I'll pan over when I get up to it, but they have an outdoor museum of all these aircrafts. It's truly incredible. It's one of the many hidden jewels that Michigan has to offer, and it's why I love living here. Look at that outdoor museum, those big jets and jumbo planes, and they got everything in there. So if you're an aviation guy, make this a stop when you are in Michigan. All right, so we're going to go take a look at a homeowner who's been after me for quite some time. His discharge line, he called me, and we were really busy with a lot of projects at the time, and I told him the truth. I said, we can't get right to you, and he was willing to wait for us, and I really appreciated that. He's seen our videos on YouTube, and he liked the fit and finish product that we bring, and he's seen what his neighbors got, and they had to have the guys back because the discharge line had bellies in it, and it was just gushing water on the side of the house, and it was a brand new installed line. And these are things we know because guys don't know how to measure slope and dig a trench. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to take you with me. I'm going to talk with the homeowner. I'm going to let you listen in. He thought maybe we could take it out the back, and honestly, with the big trees and the way everything was set up, it saved the homeowner money to run it out the front.
He ended up doing. Is he just came out with a pipe, put an elbow. You can see in the concrete that he ran a little 45-degree. Wasn't horrible. So here's my situation. That's what I have, and it worked all winter for me.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it didn't freeze on me. So All right? So there is an issue, their power line coming through here. So
All right.
it goes up in there.
Yeah. Wow, you got a lot of drop back here. This is good, but there's no infrastructure.
Well, this, you can see it's how much it is yet. And I put that up for the dogs just so we don't deal with the mud and the mess. They can like grind 2 inches down and recap it for me, or if they have to take it down. But I need it redone because I've got a lot of places that have sunk for varying reasons.
Yeah, this is the right way to do this one.
That's what I want. You know, that's kind of why I needed you to come out while I was here.
Yeah, and it's not that far either. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously have to say something to it, but
All right, so I'm back from running my appointments. The crew has been off lunch now, probably for an hour, and I did stop at a warehouse, one of my honey holes, to pick up a few items that we needed, as well as parts for jobs up and coming. So what we did is we used that same trench for a downspout and Sparky's electric line there. You see his conduit. Make sure you always make the most of your trenches. Do that. You want to use the same trench for multiple things. You can lay out a design that's free flowing. And when I say free flowing, notice how I used 45 degree, not 90s. I had some 45s in this lift station that we're putting together here. We got all the downspouts running. I got a downspout and a 2 sumps in one trench. I got a downspout and the electrical ran in another. That's taking care of business. I mean, this is a clean, neat system. And again, there's no 90s. You know, we got a couple 45s in there, and we got some angle, we got some slope. Everything's perfect. The gentleman wants to add some dirt by the seawall. Then he's going to build like a catwalk. And he wanted me just to keep the sump off the seawall enough for that decking. So with all that in mind, we're taking care of business here. We're going to get him back to where he can sleep at night. He doesn't have to worry about that stagnant water that's underneath his house that's causing God knows what. You know, over 50% of America is allergic to mold and mildew. But we always say, oh, it's the pollen, or it's the dust that's making our eyes itchy, or our nose runny, or whatever it might be. I mean, these allergies, these so-called allergies, usually it's mold and mildew. In the spring, it's so common. And again, you know, think about that when you see a little kid's beach ball and it's half collapsed and it rained and it's holding water, and mosquitoes start to breed in there, and God knows what else is going on. It's a petri dish. And, you know, I love bringing up, you know, what the state of Florida did for us. And I'm going to do a video on that. And they show a yard and all the things that you need to teach your kid to look for. And an upside down bottle cap, they're showing that holding water and that being an issue. So imagine what it's like to have water around your house or water laying in the back of your yard. Your yard always saturated. It's breeding disease. It's no different than, is it a killer? Absolutely. Have people died from stagnant water? Oh my gosh. We all know the many things that come with that. So that's why we're here. That's why we're still working. And that's why we're not going anywhere. I mean, we're a prevention of things happening to homeowners due to stagnant water. This is not only taking care of a necessity, but we're preventing future problems with one's health. And I just want to emphasize on that because it's extremely important that we address all our water problems have to be addressed. You have to take care of your roof runoff. You have to make sure your yard drains properly. If it doesn't, you have to put French drains in place. This channel, that's what it's all about. I spent the last 3.5 decades as a licensed builder, building things, and every single project I ever did, I had to think about water. If I didn't think about water, when heavy rains came, I learned in a hurry that we missed something. Because of that, we had a really, really good knack for taking care of people's yard water problems. Our name got passed around, and the next thing you know, it was hard at first because design build, that's a drug all by itself because you just love what it is that you built. You're so passionate about what you do. You can't wait to see it done, go from paper to reality. And water problems, honestly, when you're a young guy and your chest is pumped out and you're taking on the world, it's kind of like, but I got to be honest with you. It found me. I didn't find it. And this year, that's all we're doing. We're going to take care of water management and continue to teach the public and young contractors the proper way of doing yard water management, the different techniques, the different products that are out there. We're going to expose you to as many different backyard installations as we possibly can. That way, if you're a DIY and you're trying to figure out what to do with your own problem, you might see one of our videos and it mirrors your yard. I hear it all the time. People finally find that video and they know exactly what to do. And they usually call up Jen in our office and they have us put together everything they need, and we ship them out a package that is a kit A through Z, taking care of all their yard water needs. So I did a time lapse on this and just set it up in the corner. It was pretty cold. This was probably 35 degrees with a wind off the water. So, that's why you see the coat on and off. Just as soon as you worked up a sweat, then the wind cuts right through you. And the wind chill was brutal that day. But you know what? The water, working on the water is beautiful. I love Chesterfield Township. Again, I got to give a shout out to the community. They welcomed us with open arms, and we safely took care of business. All right, so we're just winding things up. As you can see, we're starting to move some of the plywood. I'm getting a discharge line in place for this system. One of the things I do when I lay lines in the frost, so this is a good pointer to Canada. If you're listening, I know we got a lot of Canadian subscribers since we're a Michigan licensed building company. So the Canadians say, hey, you guys got a similar climate, and they definitely watch our channel. I have PVC in the frost, but I'm putting it together with Fernco Rubber 90 and Fernco couplers. They're rubber and they're just screw clamps, so it's not a glue joint. It can move around in the frost. So everybody wonders why our stuff doesn't break. It's because of all these many, just literally thousands of things we've learned, over 3.5 decades of install. So we're going to start putting dirt over the system, and you're going to see us pulling the plywood out. It's everything in reverse. You show up and you build a road in, and then you start cleaning up and slowly working your way out of that yard. I believe Francisco's going to get on the track hoe and run it up and down. The reason why we do that, again, everybody, watches our stuff to learn as many different things as they can. I try to cover as many things as I can. The reason why we run up and down with the track hoe, a rubber tracked machine, the weight is spread over a large area, the track. So it's usually about 3 pounds per square inch. You're not going to hurt your yard drain system if you drive over it with a ditch witch. You're not going to, hurt your underground roof runoff system if you run over it with your track hoe. And you want to pack that dirt in so that way you don't have to leave it humped up. Because if you don't have equipment to press down like that and get that clay compacted and get those air pockets out of there, you're going to have to leave it mounded up. That way, in a few months, it will be level and not a sinkhole, because that's what happens. It's called saddling, like a horse saddle. You end up with this indentation in the yard. And if you're a contractor, you know what I'm talking about, because you get a call back when that happens, and you got to address it. And I preach this to my team. No callbacks. A business does not make money running to callbacks. So you do it right the first time. So these are all the things, the many things that are going through my mind at this point in the install. I don't want to miss a single thing because I do not want to go back. We move forward, and that's the only direction we move. We never take a step back. Get it done right. Get it done right the first time. Move on. Go knock out another one. And that's the way it's been our whole career. All right, and I do want to go back to the COVID-19 pandemic that we're dealing with. Since this is the video that I get that off my chest, off my shoulders, and just get it out there. I want you to know I'm not taking this lightly. And I want you to know that I know what it looks like firsthand. My wife works in a hospital. A month ago, my wife had a battle. COVID-19 and her, toe to toe. I watched it. There were 2 days where I thought I might be planning her funeral soon. So with that being said, I don't want nobody in the comment section, saying, hey, you guys are a loaded gun out there, blah, blah, blah. I know all about it. Like I said, I've seen it firsthand. I know how bad it is. And if you live through it, it kicks your ass. I'm telling you that right now. My wife is tough. I'm married to a tough woman. And it gave her a good hard run. That's for sure. There were a couple days there that I didn't know what was going to go, what direction it was going to go in. But, we got through it. And believe it or not, as soon as she was well, a week later, she had to go back to work. So, in any case, we're an essential. We can't let summer and the warm temperatures breed all kinds of disease in our backyards that will affect our family, children, pets. And here we are coming home, coming in safe. We didn't hurt nobody. Everything just as professional as we could be. I'm just so proud of my crew. I got to take you through the final. This is the final. This is not the before. You'd think it was the before. After we had that yard, you've seen it. You've seen all that video I took of today. Check it out, man. Good work. Well done. I love my team.